A growth mindset is the belief that your basic abilities, intelligence, and talents can be improved through hard work, good strategies, and help from others. And that is the definition from Psychology Today, and I really think that is the best definition for a growth mindset. There are two sides to this. There's the growth mindset and there's a fixed mindset. For example, a fixed mindset might be that I'm not smart enough for this. I'm not capable of this. I'm not good enough for this. And the key difference that psychology highlights is that a growth mindset uses all those things, that I'm not smart enough, I'm not capable enough, I'm not whatever, and adds a yet at the end of that. I am not smart enough yet. I'm not capable enough yet. And it's that little tweak to it, that little change in that sentence that it changes the entire perspective of that definition. So when considering a growth mindset, you need to put in the factor that you are capable of getting better. And that's honestly my favorite thing to talk about is self-improvement. It's this journey to becoming the perfect person, to be in the best version of yourself that you could possibly be. And that sounds so out of scope for so many people, and I don't think it should. I don't think it's impossible to think that you can be this person who gives up on yourself for not thinking that you can achieve what you can be at your max, what you can be at the max of Zaslow's hierarchy or whatever. You do need to understand that it takes time to become that, and you need to be willing to buckle up and be willing to go for the ride to be that version of yourself that you are proud to be and that you are so self-actualized in becoming, because it doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't happen in a year. It happens with consistency. That's one aspect that I really want to highlight here. There are a bunch of aspects to the growth mindset that really play in the factor of self-improvement in general. There's a lot of notes I have here that really can seem jumbled and confusing, so I'll just probably put a screenshot just right about here, right here. That's good. It's basically summarizing that failures should not be seen as failures. They should be as something to learn from, or the effort you put in shouldn't be seen as effort, but a part of getting better. Or criticism is just useful feedback. You shouldn't be it's a dangerous game to play if you just take criticism and just throw it away. You have to realize where that person is coming from and what they're trying to get across to you, and why. I feel like a better way of looking at it is why'd they say that thing, instead of, oh, well, that was really rude how you critiqued me like that, but why did you say that? And working backwards and processing that question yourself is a good way of trying to improve as a person. Going into effort, I mean, you got to understand that you shouldn't see I put in this hard work I put in all this effort to make this final byproduct of nothing. I didn't really get a reward from it. No. Well, I mean, you got to understand that you got to keep putting in effort and expect not a result, but to get better, to be better at whatever you're putting that effort in. And you got to know what you are trying to be better at. You can't just be putting in random skits of effort to anything and anyone. You gotta focus on what you're putting effort to. You gotta understand where that effort is going, and that is also a big part in the definition of the growth mindset is strategy. It's understanding what you want as a person and what you want to get and where you want to go with your life. And that is also a big deal when considering where you put in this effort, where you getting critiqued, and what you want to change about yourself. And your talent is a great one. I love this one because it's something that can be developed. Now, that can be literally anything. That can be literally anything you want it to be. And it just has to be you. It just has to be something you are willing to get better at, something you already have that you want to improve at, something that you want to have. And you have to understand how to get it. And this could be an infinite amount of things. This could be a skill set. This could be a hobby. This could be, I want to do this for a living. I want to do this to impress this person. That's a really unhealthy one. You shouldn't be doing things to impress other people. You should be doing them to impress yourself, to be like, oh, I actually got good at this thing that I wanted to get good at. I feel like that's a good value of like understanding what you want to be and who you want to become. So understand the definition more. You would say that hard work means discipline. It means being consistent, being thorough with improvement. And I think a great way of doing that is to consistently force yourself to do this, whatever it is you're trying to improve at, every single day. And that may be hard, that may be challenging, but you have to do that. You have to do that in order to see improvement, in order to get better. You have to be doing it consistently. That could be once a week, that could be once a month, that could be once of probably not less than once a month. I mean more than once a month, because I mean you want to be doing it at a consistent rate. But once you're consistent with that one thing, like I don't know, learning an instrument or learning editing, like doing it every single day and either showing it to somebody or posting it. It doesn't matter, but you have to be willing to be vulnerable and like consistent with this kind of things to see a result. And that gets into strategy. You got to know what you want to work for. You got to know who you want to be. You got to know what you want in life. You got to know what your identity is as a person. And that comes from knowing what kind of life do you want to live. I feel like that's so hard in current day and social media, living in like a society that surrounds you with other people's perspectives, and it jostles your brain into thinking, oh, that they look cool, they entertain me, I want to do what they do. When in reality, no, you don't. They just made you laugh or made you smile for like a glimpse of a second. Or like when you're looking at somebody's Instagram and you're seeing like, wow, they live such a good life. They're probably living such a happy life. No, they aren't, dude. And there's 99% of those people are probably not living their happiest life. They're probably living a life that they just happen to glorify on Instagram, that you just happen to see. And it's really easy to do that, but I don't think that's what you as a person should be doing. That's not what is healthy for you. You shouldn't be glorifying yourself. You should be improving yourself. And that realistically is why social media is so weird to me. It's such a strange little concept, but that's I'll talk about that. But when it comes to planning, I do think you have to take a step back, look at yourself, and ask yourself in the mirror, and probably like take a week at least to really understand who do you want to become and what do you want to be. And once you find that answer, I feel like being consistent and having the discipline to grow yourself and become this better person, that's how you get the goals. And obviously, you do need support. I mean, everybody needs support at one point in their life. And especially when you're like looking at yourself and you're saying, maybe this isn't worth it. I've been doing this for X number of days, X number of months, and I haven't seen I feel like I've made no progress. I feel like I've made no improvement. And obviously, that's, if you've been doing it consistently, if you've been doing this at a daily rate or a weekly rate, you have obviously grown so far. And I feel like you have to understand that just because you don't see it now doesn't mean other people who've seen where you were at before you started don't see a change in like improvement. And you do need a support system, whether that's posting things online, whether that's your own family, your friends. You do need support in order to realize that growth is happening. And when considering how you can use this to better yourself, I mean, just take the time to realize what you want, realize that you will be doing this consistently, most likely for the rest of your life, in order to be the best possible version of yourself that hones insanely on this one skill, and realize that you will be stuck with that for your entire life, and realize that you'd be happy with that, whether it's fitness, whether it's this, that, or the other thing. You got to know what you want to do. And I mean, it's a hard choice to make. I mean, how can I only choose one thing? How can I choose this one thing to be good at? Well, that's a sacrifice. That's a sacrifice you need to make in order to realize that you can't choose everything in this age of people who 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 look like they can do everything when they started at nothing. And I feel like you do have to start at nothing in order to build everything. And that's a point to be made, that you do have to take a step back and realize, what do I want to be as a person, and how can I achieve that? But I mean, you also got to understand, you got to do this for yourself. You can't do this for an external reward. You can't do this for somebody else. I feel like a key component of this that you might miss is that, I want to do this to get something. I want to do this for somebody. I want to do this because I want this. That's not healthy, dude. That's not where you want to be in life. That's how you get into like this burnout stage of I feel empty, I feel sad, I feel depressed. That's how you get in that mindset. And I feel like there's a point to be made that maybe, just maybe, you should do it for yourself. And it takes time to understand how to really, what you really want in life, what you would want to see yourself as. And I know it's like a hard choice to make, but you really do have to induce that mindset and onto yourself, because once you start doing it consistent, once you start doing daily and you feel like you're getting better, that's when you want to continue. And if you don't feel that drive, that like motivation, that you're like, I am getting better at this one thing, that I'm loving it, I'm loving this thing, this is great, this is my passion, then maybe it's not your passion. Maybe you chose the wrong thing, and maybe you do need to take a step back and maybe just strategize more and on to who you want to be and what you're good at and what you can build a foundation on that you are happy with, and you can keep growing from there. And you do have to take this one step at a time. You can't just jump to the conclusion. That's not how narratives work. That's not how the movie goes. You can't just jump to the conclusion and be satisfied. You got to build to that. You got to build every day consistently, whether it's a skill, whether it's a mindset, whether it's whatever. And you need to realize that growth happens one step at a time and not exponentially. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you take this advice wholeheartedly. I'm trying to be as honest as I could here. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.